I ain't doing that. I'm a grown ass man. I ain't about to wipe nobody's ass. I ain't about to go clean up no shit. I ain't about to go mop no floors. I ain't about to go work for no $10 an hour. No goddamn well. I ain't about to sleep in the goddamn bedroom with my worrisome ass cousin, cause that motherfucker feet stink, and I ain't trying to hear his shit. We can't stick together. We can't stick together long enough. Like, teamwork make the dream work, fam. Like, that don't only work when you on the clock. Like, that work in the family too. Like, it takes a village. And like, if all y'all together working on one particular goal, all y'all can eat at the end. All y'all can break bread at the end. Like, it don't have to be a divide, because we got this whole divide and conquer mentality, but we divide and we just all fall off the face of the fucking earth.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a
well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast. Woo! It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack and the lovely Coco.
What's up, y'all?
I'm just flexing for the cameras. I'm sorry.
So how we feeling today, guys?
Man, just straight.
Do we have to talk about that?
I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it.
Oh my goodness.
Your boy, he ain't as young as he used to be. It's just not that spring chicken that I used to be. Back in the day, you just be able to do anything. You can eat anything you want, do anything you want. You can sleep until 12 o'clock p.m. and 1 o'clock p.m. and stay up all night, play video games. But something about
so true.
Something about that 30th year that just like sending everything downhill. And I'm gonna talk about the hospital for a second, because I had to go to the hospital last night,
and none of us knew.
And I just felt like it wasn't nobody's business. Alyssa was mad. She got kind of heated because she found out this morning. I almost did a 24-hour stint messing with the hospital. Got up at 3 o'clock that morning and didn't go to bed until about 2 something. And I was there doing 20 minutes of activity for about 6 hours, and there was nobody in there. If there was like a massacre up the street, and it was like they was like running a bunch of beds, and people was getting like people was getting helicoptered in and all that other stuff like that. I would completely understand why I was there long enough to watch 3 episodes of Cursed on Netflix.
Stop.
A whole WWE pay-per-view from start to finish. I mean, from intro to the time that little buffer come on at the end, where they said copyright WWE, the whole 3 hours and something change. Jeez. I was there that long and did 20 minutes worth of activity. Did 2 x-rays, got 2 pictures taken, and that was it. They just called me back, and it was like, all right, so this is what happening, and we gonna give you a prescription, and you can go home. I was like, shit, you might as well keep me until I go to work now. Damn.
Let me get one of them beds.
Shit, right, just give me right, exactly. Come wake me up when you finish. Yeah, the hospital, man, it's trash, man. It's fucking trash. Like they built it to be more efficient, right? The new hospital, the new Southside Regional, they built it to be more efficient. Y'all should have seen the last one. That joint like a prison.
Yeah, I passed it a few times. It looks horrible.
Yeah. It was so bad that usually like older buildings, they keep them up. They knocked that bitch right down.
Oh, they knocked it down.
They didn't even.
I remember it was still up a few years ago.
Right after they closed that joint, they knocked it down.
Jeez.
Yeah, that never happens. And like usually we can use this for something else. Nah, I was like, yo, they probably gonna turn them Johnson to apartment buildings. Nah, they just knocked them straight down. They just knocked it straight down. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. It's old. It's how I'm feeling.
Oh, well, they say you're as old as you feel, man. Do you feel old?
Well, nah, not really. Not really. Just some sketchy stuff going on.
Are you sure?
Just some sketchy stuff going on. I mean, because of work, I feel old. After walking 10 hours on concrete, I feel old as hell. Like, but I think all of us feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should really do something about that. Like, there should be like
what they
some.
do about it, Marcus? Put rubber floors in there.
They could. They could have like certain areas like rub it off or something. I don't know.
That ain't gonna work.
Nah, it won't. Carts be sinking all into the.
Be like, I can't move it.
OPs be just stuck in one spot. Oh man, I don't think 8,000-pound equipment work with rubber floors. I'm just saying.
All right, y'all, we're gonna get into boss or false. So, is it a false or boss move to accept 700 right now instead of receiving 100 a month?
Well, I believe if it's for the entire year, I'd say that 100. But most people would probably pick that instant 700 because it's more for that instant instead of looking at the bigger picture. And
so, accepting the 700 now, would you say that's a false move?
Very false.
And
You ain't gonna answer? Oh, all right. I would say like it just depends on how long the 100 coming from.
it's a year.
Just is a year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if the 100 coming for a year, like you talking $700 right now. Like yeah, I got $700 worth of problems right now. However, if I just hold off and I just hold on to the extra money that I'm getting every month, that's $100. That's $1,200 in that year, which is my my math might be a little wrong, but it's about $400 more than $500 more than the 700. Yeah, I'm sorry, I ain't get that much sleep last night. I had to use fingers and stuff. But but it is definitely a false move to accept $100. I mean, $700 over taking that 100 for 100 a month for the year. Like there's a story, something that they use in business. When I was in network marketing, like the question that literally broke my life was, would you take $1 million now, or would you take a penny doubled every day?
Ooh. Yep.
And see, that's the thing. I see these things on Facebook. They be asking, would you have like $100,000 or 800 credit?
Yeah, 800 credit score. I mean, that one doesn't. That don't weigh out as much. That don't weigh out the same.
Right,
I mean,
but
because you can get an 800 credit score and still be broke.
True. Or you
Speaking of,
or you could.
Ooh.
Speaking of, your boy just hit that 700 mark again.
Oh, again.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, I done messed up the game a little bit. I done messed it up a little bit. Build it back up. Messed it up. Build it back up. But right now, like the last time I built it back up, it was by accident. But this time I did it on purpose, and I knew exactly what I'm doing, what I was doing. So got my credit score back up to 700. So I'm geeked about that. So that's something to definitely celebrate about. I definitely would have been out for steak on that one. But yeah, got my credit score back up. So
that's what's up.
Yeah. Thank you. That's it was a big deal for me. Like I was just up there watching Credit Karma like every day. Like come on. Come on. And it's definitely gonna go up a little higher once everything updates on in the Experian and TransUnion and all that other stuff like that. So yeah. But back to the subject matter at hand. Like it'd be weird that you see stuff like that on Facebook or any kind of social media where it's like pick a red pill or your blue pill type situation,
Right.
and it'd just be options that don't make no sense. Like, would you stay in this $40 million mansion for a weekend with no Wi-Fi? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
it
what,
was like, would you live in this house,
if you
but
had,
your sister got move in with you or some shit like that?
so yeah,
Like, yeah, she can have that side of the
Yeah.
house. Like, it don't bother me.
because I definitely had a house to myself. Yeah, yeah,
Only child.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, like, would you live in this mansion if you had to stay off of social media? I'm like, yo, is the world really that bad? Like that we can't stay off of social media for a few minutes?
That'd be like heaven.
Like, I done been on social media all of 20 minutes in the last month. Like, and it's all business purposes. Long enough to get on there to start an ad and just get back off. Oh man, it's insane, man. The world that we live in today with this microwave mentality,
Mm.
Oh my.
it's just sad, man. Like y'all have y'all looked at the penny doubled every day for 30 days?
Mm-mm. I know it gets up there.
It definitely do. It definitely do. A penny double. I think a penny doubled every day over 30 days. It's like you get somewhere like $10 million at the end of the month. Like if you just doubled a penny every day.
Pure 10 million?
I think so.
$10 million, 10 million pay.
No,
Wait.
motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry. So if you took a single penny and doubled it every day, by day 30, you would have $5 million, $5,368,709.
Sheesh.
Jesus.
So that is the power of doubling your wealth versus the people who would just be like straight up take $1 million and just be like, "Yep, I'm balling, bitch."
Right.
No, if you just took the penny and doubled it, you would have 70% more than what you started off with. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun stuff.
And that's interesting because companies and society gets over on you with percentages,
Yeah.
and they'll give you like a bunch of numbers, and then give you like maybe like a low or high percentage, and you're sold on that.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes a day can save you what 15% or more on car insurance or something.
Like, what does that even mean?
Like how much am I actually
What is
getting?
that? What does that mean? Like, because I mean, I promise you, I pay like what, $30-some right now for car insurance. like what does that even mean? Huh?
How much you bet?
Like $37 a month?
For car insurance?
Yeah.
You own your car?
Yeah. I own that car, yeah, but
Okay.
I mean,
I'm still
before
financing, so.
with the same car though,
Before.
the same car. My last car insurance company, USAA, was charging me double for the same car and the same coverage.
Hey, what do you mean by double?
So my premium now is it was a little over double. My premium now is like 560, and my premium with USAA was like $1,200.
What am I doing wrong?
Who are you with?
Geico?
There it is, right there. You fell for the percentage.
That 15% more to say you. Oh man.
Oh damn! It was Alyssa that actually got me in the thought process of changing my car insurance. Like, I wouldn't have never thought about changing my car insurance had she not been the one to enlighten me on how, like, on insurance in general. So yeah,
USAA.
because you get to a point where it's like, and then like, so everybody is so uncomfortable with change.
Right.
And for the longest time, I stayed with them because I was uncomfortable with change. Because the thought of, here's the thing, you're with the car insurance company. You have car insurance right now, and there's nothing wrong with my car insurance right now. But the fact of the matter is that there might be something out there that might be cheaper, but I don't want to go out there shopping for it because that's uncomfortable because I'm working outside of my element to actually go look for it.
Yeah.
And the thought of having to shop around for car insurance was daunting. I was like, I ain't did this in so long. I've had USAA for 9 years. 10 years. Yeah, 2008 I went with USAA. And man, that lady tried to make me feel like shit.
Come on.
Yeah, she was like, oh, and I told her the price that the new insurance company was giving me, and she was like, well, if that's your premium, then something must be wrong with that insurance company. Are you sure you want to do that? I was like, well, Google said they've been around since 1912. They've been around longer than y'all, so I'm just gonna go ahead with that one. They ain't out of business yet. I was like, the Better Business Bureau gave them a such and such star rating, and any more questions?
Yeah,
she hit me with the you dumb for doing this. Like, I was like, all right, I guess I'll be dumb then. Go ahead and cancel that.
But with all that, like insurance and all that, does that affect credit? Does that?
Yeah, if you don't pay it.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh.
What's up?
Stop. Did you tell him?
Oh yeah. I already told him. I told him my credit score.
He got credit.
He got credit.
Finally.
And what? From what?
From shoes.
From paying on them damn couches.
I mean,
it showed up.
Yeah. That to start off, because that's where I'm.
So that actually showed up as a line of credit.
I guess yes.
Okay.
So
I was wrong.
Yeah, that's what you were trying to get at.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I can admit it.
Oh, okay.
Damn,
we all make mistakes, babe. Jeez.
I know I'm not a guru.
But yeah, so credit 608 from Shoals. I
shouldn't probably did that in the mic.
I wonder if it'll show up for the internet. Would it?
Nope.
I don't think. Nope.
Utilities? Nope.
No.
Nope.
Because I thought DirecTV, but no.
Nope. Like I said, my rent don't even show up on my credit, so
That's a
utilities don't count.
That's different credit.
that is Experian.
I don't know.
What the?
Because I know my apartment building had checked my credit to see if I had any evictions on it. But
yeah, they check the like most people will check your transactions before they actually look at your score. Because if you got a low credit score, like for instance, like I watched a video of a guy talking about how he picks his tenants, and he was talking about how he does credit checks. Like I know how to run credit checks on people now, which is kind of scary. But he said that even if he has somebody with a high credit score, but they have like delinquencies on their credit history, like he wouldn't let them rent his house. But if they had a low credit score, but they had all their payments on time, then he's like, no harm, no foul.
don't that sound familiar?
Who?
Scott said he wanted to check out backgrounds to see if we were criminals to rent out his little funky ass trailer.
Wait. He ain't run no background check.
I mean, he wanted to.
I promise y'all the bank don't operate on that notion though. The bank like, hey, I don't care if you paid your shit on time. If you ain't got a 790 credit score or above, we are not giving you this loan of $400 without an interest rate of like 82%.
Oh no.
Man, but look, for real, like I got a question though. Why is it that in our society right now that the wealthy principles don't ever get passed down? Like, is it just not interesting to pass down wealth to people?
I mean, is it ever established in the first place?
it may not have been.
Yeah, because sometimes
It may not have been.
It's something started with the kids. Like the parents can only push them so far. If they don't know it themselves, then they can't really pass down. I mean, you can pass down knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can also learn and pass down too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess like at a certain point, like I asked, like, at what point do you look at yourself and be like, yo, there's some shit I don't know. Let me learn it. Why is that not happening?
Some people are stubborn, for real. Some people, they know what they know and they believe that they know everything. And just like you said, change. They don't like change.
Yeah.
They get comfortable in that, oh, this is what I do.
That's
This is
what
how
it
I
is right there.
survive.
They're comfortable.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
This is life. This is survival. This is what I do. And nothing more.
And I know everything. Because ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. Because I'm grown.
Yeah, you grown, all right.
Grown ass kid.
Facts. Tragic.
There should, like, oh man, I met this one girl, man, and she's like a little younger than I was when we met or whatever, and we were just having a conversation about credit. This was back when I was in the Army Reserve, and we were just having a conversation about credit or whatever, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't even talk to none of my family," and I was like, "What that got to do with credit?" It's like, where we going with this?
What?
And then she was like, she told me the story and was like that when I was 2 years old, my mom opened up a credit card in my name, and she maxed it out and never paid it off. And she ended up finding out about it when she turned like 18 years old, and she tried to buy a car, and she was just coming back from basic training, and at that point, once you done with basic training and AIT, at that point you get a bonus. You get your first bonus in the military. Usually it's like $5,000 to $10,000.
So they took that.
So yeah, they took it. Yeah.
Dang.
So after the taxes, you get about $7,700. They took all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know she was pissed,
and she didn't even know why. And not only that, but her credit was still fucked up. She had like a 500. Like by default, she had a 500.
Jeez,
That's messed up.
yeah.
Yeah.
How could you do that?
Like you're right. How could you do that to your kid? And like you
so
did it,
fucked up. You had to fuck your child up too.
and you didn't even do it with the intention of like, yo, I'm struggling right now. Let me do anything I possibly can to make something happen, and then fix it on the back end. Like you didn't even try to fix it on the back end. You was like, yo, I just need more. So you just took anything that you could possibly get. You just saw that as free money at your kid's expense at 2 years old.
See, that's the thing now.
Back in the 90s.
People talking about getting their child right before they turn 18, buying the credit card and paying it off and stuff. So when they're 18, they have money or whatever, good credit and money. But I'm seeing that more now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because like when I called Marcus and we were having a conversation about credit, we were talking about credit history, and what's happening is like wealthy people, when their kids are born, they're opening up a credit card in their kids' names, and they're using the 10% pay down rule. And I actually learned about the 10% pay down rule from Alyssa, because she does it. So when I learned about that, I was like, what is that? Like when she said it for the first time, she was like, because I'm like, you don't use a debit card, you use your credit card for everything. Why? She was like, I pay it off every month. It's like, it got to be something to that. So I started researching, and then when I came across that video, the guy was like, the best thing to do for credit history, because it's 15% of your credit score,
Right.
and if it's bad, it could do some damage if you it can make your credit look like real shady if all you got is like 1 year credit history, but you got 9 credit cards open because you'd open all of them at one time. Because the way they average it is they add all of the credit, the time, the length of time that all of your credit cards are open, and divide it by the amount of cards that you have.
So okay, all right. So,
but I wasn't done. But
you finished?
But yeah, well, with the successful people or wealthy people are doing, they're just open up credit cards on their kids' names, and they'll do the 10% pay down technique, and then by the time their kids turn 18, they have some kind of established credit
and history,
credit history, right. And I can't think of nobody in my family who would do that for the kid, because it's like, that don't benefit me.
Right.
Like, for me to do that for my kid, that don't benefit me. What they got to do with me?
But that benefits them in the long run.
But that ain't how broke people think.
It's not, which is sad.
Broke people think of desperation.
This is true. But another thing is, why do some people or group of people make credit cards look bad? Like they it's like a sin to have a credit card, or it's like credit card is like the what was it? The negative zone. Like, you shouldn't get a credit card because all these fees, and they try to sneak up on you and all this other stuff.
Hey, have you been reading my shit?
Oh no. I was like, what are you doing?
It's right there. It's like I was just about to get into that.
Oh.
But no, go ahead and ask the question again. I'm sorry. I'm being an ass.
But why do some people see credit cards as bad? Like, why do they look at it as we shouldn't have them, or they almost look at them as they're in fear of a credit card?
I never came up to an answer for the question, but I did have that question written down because I wanted to talk about it. Because it's
I feel like people are just afraid to mess up their credit because they know they're going to mess it up, but they know they're not responsible enough to make the payments and everything.
Right. Agreed. And not only are they afraid to mess it up, but they know they don't know anything about it. So it's like, where do you go? Which direction do you go when every direction looks the same?
Right. People are afraid of things they don't know. So
right. Exactly.
They try to shun it out.
Exactly. And it's crazy though, because wealthy people look at debt in a completely different light than broke folks. Like, I was watching this real estate video, and this guy was like, I have at this point over $9 million in good debt.
Good debt.
What is good debt? Like,
my dude,
debt is good.
What the do you mean?
What is good?
I'm getting to that in a second.
Yeah, that's
so. Here's the thing, y'all know what liabilities are, right? Liabilities is anything that you are paying for that isn't paying you money, and an asset is the exact opposite. So he owns $9 million in assets that's paying him, but he doesn't. He's still paying the $9 million, but he's making more from that $9 million than he's actually spending on that $9 million.
Putting money in and getting money out.
Yeah. So the $9 million is credit loans, but from the assets that he acquired from those loans, he's making money off of them to pay that loan down. And you know what that means? So that is his net worth.
Being a landlord be like that?
That's what the assets I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, he has $9 million in real estate, and he's getting paid about how much did he ever say how much he was making? He didn't. He just said he owns what was it, 99 doors in real estate.
There's some good money coming from
and he's been doing it for 7 years in Idaho.
Jesus.
Idaho. Idaho.
We used to make people say that.
Yeah.
Of all places, Idaho.
But that's interesting because, like you said, wealthy people they'll see loans, credit cards, and all that stuff in like a whole different light.
Yeah.
And they use that to their advantage.
Right.
Like the videos, they damn near like seem outrageous. Like they'll be like, all right, you can get this much money, or I have all these properties, all these vehicles for free.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the bank because I have good credit. I'll go get a loan or get, this much money from the bank or whatever. And then I'll pay for it. And then I'll either rent it out. It'll be a house. I'll rent it out. Or it'll be something that they could get money back from.
Mm-hmm.
And then it pays for itself.
Right. Like
And
Jamal.
it seems so easy.
Jamal King was like, hey, I wanted this car. So I went and bought a property to pay for this car.
Right.
Blew my mind. Never heard no shit like that before. But
It's
people
all
out
about
here,
perspective.
doing it, man. Like the whole family banking system and stuff like that. Like people really out here doing that. Like for instance, like, and I might butcher this a little bit, but I've watched a few videos on the whole family banking. Like pretty much treat your family legacy and your family's money like the bank. Like if you have to give somebody a loan, charge interest on that loan and keep that money in the family. Make yourself a partner in the family ventures. Like if your kids about to open up a business and they need a loan of $100,000, then charge them like 2% on the loan and then keep that money in the family. That way, that money is still there for their kids. Instead of paying the bank, they pay you.
But where you gonna get that money from?
They got to start from somewhere.
Yeah, true.
They got to start somewhere, man.
That's interesting.
We can't think about that. We can't think about stuff like that because we got to think about getting it.
Fact.
We got to be the ones that do it. But I rode through a neighborhood recently, and I told Lee on the last episode. I rode through this neighborhood for the first time in my life. And it's not even a fancy neighborhood with the gated community and the guard at the front. None of that. The houses just look bigger than the ones that I was accustomed to seeing when I was growing up. The 2 bedrooms, the 600 square foot with the 1 bathroom where you had to take a bath in the sink and shit. Like those are houses that I was accustomed to growing up in. But I looked at this neighborhood growing up as like rich folks territory.
Right.
And I remember growing up and looking at this neighborhood like, yo, I would never be able to afford a house like one of those. Like I don't even know the type of work that you would have to put in to get a house like that. And one day, like a few weeks ago, I just went out running at my old high school, and the neighborhood is actually right across the street from my old high school. But instead of just going straight home, I was like, you know what? Let me ride through this neighborhood real quick. And like my mentality was so different from the time like when I first looked at that neighborhood. I was just like looking around like, yo, right now, like I can remember feeling inadequate looking into this neighborhood. Never rode through it. Never even seen the houses up in there. And I just remember feeling inadequate just looking at this neighborhood. But now I'm like looking at this neighborhood, seeing nothing but opportunities around. I'm out there looking for sale signs. I'm out there like calculating stuff. And I'm like, yo, everything look a little different now. Like don't nothing even feel the same. Like I don't even feel like I'm like the same person as that person that I was looking at back then. And I'm just like, yo, what was you thinking? Telling yourself that you were inadequate, looking at a neighborhood like this of all places. Like it wasn't even like the most expensive house there was like $399,000. And after negotiation, that house is probably not worth $399. Like that's just some sentimental value that they'd added to that shit. Like it blew my mind, dog. Like I was like, yo, like there are no people out here like it's hardly anybody out here who's stretching themselves to that type of mentality of looking at things in a different perspective than they're accustomed to. It's like everybody is stuck on what they're currently doing, that nobody is really focusing on growth.
Right.
And it speaks volume because like you could tell the difference of these people when you get around the folks who are excited about refund checks. They're excited about their school paying them back refund money, or the February when refund tax time comes. And I was like thinking to myself at one point, like, what does refund taxes look like to somebody who's successful? It looks totally different.
Whole different ball game. So while we at the bottom getting excited for our $1,500 refund, and we out here just like making babies just for the sake of having fucking extra money during tax time, people who successful and people who have money, they're excited about paying it. They ain't excited about the refund check. They at the point where if they got a refund check, they about to commit suicide. And here we are at the bottom. We out here multiplying like fucking rabbits because we want more money on our tax check. Return. They even fill out a whole different form than us.
A 1099.
Let's
go to work and ask. Let's go to work and ask the first 10 people that we see what a 1099 is, and see how many answers we get. I can guarantee you, I already know. I can guarantee you, I already know exactly who to go ask about a 1099, and they can tell me exactly what a 1099 form is. And I can guarantee you, I can find you at least 10 people who don't. I wish I could ask somebody who was actually in like a business class in high school, because I'm curious to know what is it, the FBLA. I'm curious to know what they were talking about.
When I was in it,
there we go. There we go. Let's go.
So FBLA is Future Business Leaders of America.
Yeah.
When I was in the class, we kind of did marketing. We touched on like a little bit of, I want to say, statistics, like very lightly. And then they had like a computer program where it was kind of like The Sims, but it was like you were running a business and you did like ordering the product, making sure it gets on the truck on time, and like all this other stuff, like
prepare you forever.
Basically, right? You had to like write up orders, what are you receiving, what you're sending out, and all this other stuff.
What's it called? A bill of lading.
What?
A bill of lading. It talks about it breaks down. It's a list of what do they call it? Emeritization list of all the items on the truck, and how much it costs and all that. I think it's called a bill of lading. I think that's what you are talking about. They probably didn't call it that in FBLA though.
Yeah, probably not.
So the answer to my question was nothing. Because why are you learning that? What significance does that have? Like there is no reason to be learning about any of that, because that's a little too advanced and past the mark of where we need to start at. It's like, what are you teaching me? How to run what? Whose business are you teaching me to try to run? Is this your business? Are you trying to teach me how to work for? Oh, you're looking to recruit people to manage your company. Okay, got you. Let me know how you got to where you are. I don't want to know how your employees are going to get to where they are. I don't want to know that. Don't teach me that. I'm good. I'm good on that.
I would say this. My trade, I had childcare. She had someone from a bank come in and they was teaching us how to, save money and open up account, and if you want to start a business or take out a loan. They was teaching us that stuff. Obviously, I haven't, taken anything from that, but I'm working on it now. But
that's all that matters.
I just want it to be open for everybody, not just because you're in this class or in that class.
Yeah,
everybody should be available to it.
Basically, like a life 101 class. Sadly, they actually have that in other states. I know for sure they have it in Minnesota.
Man, if y'all got home economics, you can teach somebody how to.
Like, we don't even teach how to balance a checkbook.
How do you do? What is a checkbook? Nah,
Boy,
I know what a checkbook is. I've never had one, but that
Me neither.
Exactly.
I don't think I have enough money for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I have enough
agreed.
money for a checkbook.
Agreed.
Again, it's I guess a mindset thing, or
Oh my god! And there's
It's-
always old people in the market paying with a mother effing check.
this is true.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that of lately.
yeah, because they scared to come out the house.
Yeah, they
that too,
they
but-
getting DoorDash and all that shit.
Mm.
Oh, Food Line is starting to I already told you that.
Yeah, online pickup thingy.
Ain't that always
stuff.
been a thing though?
No, not for Food Line.
Oh, maybe I'm lost. There was something I was about to get into. I was actually looking for a property that I was actually considering going to talk to a realtor about.
Mm.
But I'm off that now.
So how do we get into the mindset of generational wealth and building credit?
We changed the way we look at money. Stop looking at money as something that you spend and look at something that you produce.
Right.
Stop being a consumer and start being producers.
So some people get money right away and like spend it.
And spend it. And they don't think about investing it. They just think about what they can spend it on. Like, my biggest hurdle when I was trying to figure out my financial situation, why I was always broke, why I was always fucking up with money, why I always ended up in a situation where I had to borrow money or rob Peter to pay Paul. In a sense, I was trying to figure out what I was doing wrong, and it was because I was looking for things to spend my money on instead of looking for things to invest my money in.
That's another thing. Why is it that when we get a surplus of money, we instantly go to a mindset of all right, what can I spend this on? Like, what do I need? What do I want for myself?
Consumer mentality. It's consumer mentality. It's second nature for our people to do that. And by our people, I'm not talking about a race thing, because it's not a race thing. It's an environmental thing. Because if you're in a trailer park with white people and black people, all y'all got the same broke mindset.
What's it called when you rich, mid class, or what was that? Your wealth class or?
Upper middle class.
I mean, no,
Oh,
but
Lord.
how do you
What's the name of the classification? Oh, yeah, there we go.
that?
Your social hierarchy. Is that right? Yeah. So the social hierarchy, when you down at the bottom, is what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about race, because it's white folk and black folk in
Don't
the trailer
come at
park.
us.
It's white folk and black folk in the trailer park up the street. But you want to know who else up in there? Mexicans who do have those wealth principles down packed. They good.
True.
And we look at them, and you know, black folks, and I'm gonna say black folks, because black folks got pride. They got way too much pride and way too much ego, and they look at the Mexican folks, they like, look, I ain't doing what they doing. I ain't doing that. I'm a grown ass man. I ain't about to wipe nobody ass. I ain't about to go clean up no shit. I ain't about to go mop no floors. I ain't about to go work for no $10 an hour. No goddamn well. I ain't about to sleep in the goddamn bedroom with my worrisome ass cousin, because that motherfucker feet stink, and I ain't trying to hear his shit.
Maybe pack.
We can't stick together. We can't stick together long enough. Like, teamwork make the dream work, fam. Like, that don't only work when you on the clock.
Fact.
Like, that work in the family too. Like, it takes a village. And like, if all y'all together working on one particular goal, all y'all can eat at the end. All y'all can break bread at the end. Like, it don't have to be a divide, because we got this whole divide and conquer mentality, but we divide and we just all fall off the face of the fucking earth.
Yeah. So there's this guy that I know. He did what you said very well. So he's the father, and then he has two sons. So he drives trucks.
Right.
And he passed that knowledge down to his 2 sons. Well, I think one of his sons. I don't know what the other son does. But they worked together long enough to come up with like a family business of truck driving. And I remember I was working with this dude in construction, and he almost had, well, he basically had the same exact idea. He was like, for real, you know, since they have that free class at, you know, our community college, he was like, he could have took it, and then his brother could have took it, and they could have been making bank. Even if they, you know, just had one truck, they could switch up drives, made it easy, and they would have been making bank. But, you know, a lot of people, they don't see that opportunity in the long run. Like you said, they always want that short
So hold
game.
up, back up for a second. So what happened now? Like they ended up failing because they couldn't.
They never got it started.
They never. Oh, so they could have done something, but they just didn't.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
So it was the knowledge that was passed down from their dad, but because they couldn't work together to get it.
Oh
resolved.
no, they got it. They got it down pat. There was this other group that had the same exact idea, but they never got it started.
They couldn't get together.
Yeah.
And okay. But you know, I see a lot of people that don't want to. They want to start a business, but they don't want it to be the same exact as other people. Like they'll be like, "Oh, well, they already doing. There's too many people doing that. I don't want to do that no more." Like per se, people selling lashes and lip gloss now.
There's a whole network marketing company doing that.
Yeah. But you know, people have their little business on the side. But I was just saying, I see a lot of people not wanting to do something they want to do because other people are doing it,
which is dumb. It's like, how do you ever find your passion worrying about what everybody else doing?
Right. Like
And then if you out here just doing it for the money in general, then that shit get old. Because when the money don't come, you out.
Right.
It's like Aaron said. It's
doing it for the money.
Yeah, doing it for the money. It's not about the money you can receive. It's about the money you can produce. If you have a talent, or if you're passionate about something, you should feed that and use that to make your money. Because you basically wouldn't be doing it for the money. You've been doing it for, you know, to get better at it, to grow, and then money will come later. That's how you should look at it. You
shouldn't be looking at it for monetary gain anyway, because you should be looking to help individuals. What value can you bring to the table, and not just your own table, but the people around you? Like, who are you serving?
Right.
Your customers. If you're out here trying to make money, how are you helping the people who you're selling to? Because if you're not helping them do anything, if you're not adding any value to their lives, and what are they buying from you?
Right.
Somebody need to listen to this podcast. Anywho.
Did y'all know that wealthy people treat death differently?
Huh?
How?
So wealthy people. Here's a scenario that was thrown to me. I was listening to this guy talk about generational wealth and the family banking and all this other things like that. So apparently there are groups of wealthy individuals who, when somebody is about to die, they cashing out, and not cashing out in a bad way. Like, okay, so and so, grandma such and such about to die. So let's go ahead and do this insurance policy real quick, and let's go ahead and keep the money to ourselves. Like, they coming together and they like starting like $1 million insurance policies on the elders in their family. The elders are signing off on it and leaving a will for like estate to the trustees inside the family. Meanwhile, you got poor folk out here can barely bring up enough money to pay for the funeral.
Right.
Because the amount of times that I've seen my family struggling to try to pay for a fucking funeral, I mean, it is fucking sad. I'm like, y'all been working for money y'all entire life. You ain't got no money to pay for your funeral. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no money saved off, and you in debt. How you die in debt at the age of 70?
Oh no.
How you die in debt at 70? Like, how you do that? Why?
Exactly.
What decision did you make that brought you here?
And even with that, like the decisions they made to get in debt and all this other stuff, it can be rewritten. It can be, saved.
And why didn't you make that mistake when you was 20?
True. Like all these debt relief programs and stuff that can help your credit and all this other stuff. Like why isn't it?
Why are we falling for that? Just pay your bills.
Well, that too.
Just stop spending money.
It's easy.
Okay, so here's the thing: if you make $2,000 a month, you don't spend $21 a month.
Yeah, come back.
If you make $2,000 a month, you
Pretty
don't spend $2,100 a month.
All right.
Then you would never be in debt. That's just plain and simple. It's that simple.
You got me wanting to check my bank account.
It's that simple. It is that simple. Like like if you don't spend outside of your means, then you don't fall into somebody else's means.
Facts.
They don't come looking for you, asking for money if you don't owe them money. Stop buying new stuff that you don't need. Evaluate how much you make. Okay, is this a luxury? Is this a luxury that I need? Is this a luxury that I want? And if I want it, then what am I going to do to make this luxury make sense?
Right.
Like that's the reason why I'm not buying a new car right now. My car's on its last leg. I can go ahead and slap some duct tape on it and keep it moving.
Not duct tape.
I go ahead and the wheel's still turning, the engine still start, and it's still moving.
Facts.
She struggled a little bit. She on her last leg. It got almost 160,000 miles on it, but she's still pushing strong. I'm not getting a new car until that one blows up. I mean, it actually blow up with me inside of it,
no.
or I'm not getting it. I am not getting a new car.
So you better reword it.
So you riding it till the wheels fall off.
I'm riding it until the wheels fall off, and when the wheels fall off of it, I'm picking the wheels back up and putting duct tape on it and wrapping it. I'm zip tying it right back to the axle and keeping moving.
Tragic.
That car gonna last me until
That would be one hell of a ride.
I don't want to buy a new car until I have 2 properties in my name.
Okay.
I do not want to. I repeat, I'm putting it out in the atmosphere. I do not want to buy a new car until I got 2 properties in my name. I want a property to pay for my car because my car is not a asset.
Right.
It's a liability. I'm spending money on something that ain't making me money, which don't make sense. It literally don't make sense. Like when you think about it, like yeah, it's good to have nice things, but we selling time to get nice things,
right?
And why would you
and then the cycle repeats.
Oh my god. So the amount of times that I have to explain to people, you cannot make more than $15 an hour. I don't care how much you hate your job, you cannot make more than $15 an hour. And I'm talking to some people here.
Right.
You cannot make more than $15 an hour just because you hate your job. That ain't how it works. You are getting paid $15 an hour because because your employer decided the value of your job is only worth $15 an hour. It don't matter how many boxes you move, how much you stand on your feet, how much your back hurt, how much your head hurt, how much you hate your boss. None of that matters. How far you have to drive to get there, none of that matters. Your time to them is only worth $15 an hour. And then you have the other people in the world, the flip side of that, who says that my hour is worth so much that if I had to work $15 an hour, I will fucking commit suicide in the bathroom stall. Time is way more important than money.
Right.
You can multiply money. You can't multiply time. But the way our society is right now, you have more people who are focused on the money because they think that's important. The world around them makes them think that money is key. Money is God. They looking at money as God. They're looking at the wrong God.
Right.
That ain't the God you're supposed to be looking at, because that's external. Where I don't even know where to start. Like, because it's not necessarily a thing that you do kind of situation at this point, because even if you change up what you're doing, or like you say somebody listen to this podcast and be like, yo, they right, and then they start switching up everything that they do. You can switch up everything you do, but at the same time, if you don't change your mentality, none of those new habits are going to even stick in the first place. Right. So it really wouldn't even make a difference. So I would say, for everybody who's listening to this, like if you're part of your own problem and you know that you had that consumer mindset, we ain't trying to call you out. I promise you, I used to be there. I remember at one point I wanted the fanciest car with the biggest rims on it with the speakers in the back. I look, there's a picture of me standing in a suit with jewelry on, iced the fuck out, with 20-inch rims on a Nissan Altima. And I can remember the day I took that picture, I was standing out in the parking lot at the mall with the music blasting. Like 20-inch rims on the car. Like, I remember that day vividly. So I was definitely there with you guys. Like, I was definitely part of my own problem. I remember spending, when I got my check, but my bonus money. I was so bad when I got out of AIT back in 2009. I was so bad that when I got my bonus, $7,000 now, I went out and bought subwoofers and an amplifier, and I didn't even have a car. It don't make no fucking sense. I never said I was perfect.
On getting a car?
I ended up getting the car. But however, it just goes to show that my priorities just wasn't right. So I was definitely there for you. I definitely didn't have a 700 credit score mentality back then either. I definitely didn't have the mentality of getting my credit score back up, getting it up to a 700. I wasn't worried about it. Right. It wasn't even, it was the furthest thing on my mind. Credit score? Oh, what? Like getting I got my credit score was so, like, it was good, but then I was so ignorant about money in general that when I went to go get the car, I got robbed when they sold me the car and didn't even bat an eye. I was so ignorant about money that I allowed somebody to rob me blind in my face with a smile and a handshake and did not bat a fucking eyelash. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I got sold a car. This was 2009. I got sold a 2003 Nissan Altima for $13,000 and it had 70,000 miles on it. I got fucking robbed, blind. And because I didn't know anything about money, I allowed it to happen. And I didn't even realize it until years later after I started learning about money and values and things like that. APRs, what interest rates mean, like just teaching myself little small things like that just made me start thinking about the mistakes that I made in the past, all of the money that I spent in the past. For what? I'm out here spending all this money and don't have anything to show for it.
Right.
For what?
Momentary gain. You got caught up in the hype. Exactly.
So for anybody out there, you have to I said all that just to say that I know the struggle. I'm one of y'all. I've been there, I've done that, and I'm not perfect. None of us at this table are perfect. We all learning. Everybody in this room right now is learning. And everybody under the sound of my voice is always learning. All right. So what you have to do is put yourself in a space where you're trying to figure out what your goal is. If you ain't got a goal, then just suffer in your own silence. But don't be one of the people who open a credit card in your kid's name, right, and fuck your kid life up before your kid even get a chance to do it on their own. Right. Like, you not supposed to be the one that fucks them up. Like that's your kid. That's your flesh and your blood. Like you supposed to be thinking about legacy. You supposed to be saying that my last name has to carry on for another generation. I brought the next generation of my last name into this world, and I had to set them up for success. And when you have kids, that should be the only thing on your mind. You are not the focus of your life when you have children. That's just not how that's supposed to work. So you definitely shouldn't be making decisions about your kids' life at their expense to benefit you. Like that ain't how that works.
That's not fair.
It's not fair at all. It's not fair at all. And there are people who out here, they're doing that, and then they're blaming the kids for it. So now the kids grow up and do the same thing to another generation because that's all they seen in their family, because they don't know how to break that cycle. And if you were one of those people who had that happen to you in a certain way, in my family, I had the same issue with my mom, with cashing checks in my name that was supposed to go to me, and I ended up getting my tax refunds garnished for 4 years, and it ended up being my fault because she didn't understand money. And I perfectly understand. Like I know what it's like. I've been there. That's how I know about it. And I know people who've gone through things like that, and I just hear stories, and it's crazy the amount of things that people would do in desperation just to get money with no goal. So don't get desperate for money. Get desperate to change the situation that you're in. Be desperate to get out of the current mindset that you're in, because it's so toxic that you don't even realize that it's toxic. And the only thing you're doing is constantly digging a hole for yourself. And with time passing for every single person, every single living being on this planet, if you're not doing something to grow, then that's literally what you're doing for yourself. You're digging the hole for yourself. And by the time you're about to go in it, you can't just sit on your deathbed and just be like, I wish I had more time. You had all the time you needed. Unless you got killed, which you wouldn't necessarily be asking that question if you got killed. But right. I mean, I hate to be morbid about it, but I mean, that's reality. If I get taken away unexpectedly, I don't have the time to even think about the things that I didn't do, because that situation was taken from me.
Right.
But I mean, just being real, like if when you get to your deathbed, you can't ask, like, you can't say, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. You had all the time in the world to do that. Why didn't you do it while you were alive? Why did you wait till you were about to die to do it?
Thanks.
So that's my advice.
Get advice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast with your boy Marcus Morton and the Aaron Mack and the lovely Coco. Check us out on our website at AscensionDynasty.com. Check us out on YouTube, Mac of All Trades. Please leave a like, comment, follow us on Facebook. Leave some insight.
Let us know something.
Share the content.
Yeah,
if you like the content, we got plenty of clips coming.
Ooh,
plenty of clips coming. I'm gonna start posting all of them on Facebook.
Yeah.
Start posting all of them on Facebook, just to put some content out there. Here's 1,000. Remember, that's still a goal.
I feel like we're halfway there. Feel like it. No, not halfway. Not even halfway.
We gotta get on the ball.
I mean, 1,000 was a bit overzealous.
No, we can make it. We can make it.
We'll make it. Hopefully by the end of the year. I mean, we just no.
No,
Come on now.
1,000 was a bit much.
I mean, we still have,
we put out a lot of fucking
hold on.
So, do you want to know for real how much content we put out?
I don't even want to know right now.
All right, cool. We'll talk about it later. All right, we got to end this podcast. We went well over our time.
Surprised the camera didn't went off.
Oh yeah, you know what? I got the new memory cards up in them things. Yeah, yeah.
Hey.
We got 3 hours. We got 3 hours to go on these cameras now. We ain't gonna take the 3 hours though. We gonna go ahead and say we catch you next week. Doses.
Peace.